All right, today we're not just going to talk about some management tip. No, this is more like a critical warning. See, there's a gap in your business that's way more dangerous than you probably think. And ignoring it, well, that could be the costliest mistake you ever make. So let's dig in and figure out what this gap is and why it's so incredibly vital to your company's survival. So, what do you think is the hardest part of being a leader? I bet you're thinking it's managing your top execs, right? Getting all your VPs on the same page, executing the grand vision? Well, the source material we're looking at today says that's not it at all. The real challenge, the one that can truly make or break your entire company, it's something else entirely. And that brings us right to our first big point, what we're calling the forgotten frontline. Yeah, we're talking about the very people who are the foundation of your entire operation, but so often they're also the most overlooked. And look, this is such a simple idea, but it's incredibly profound. Your frontline employees, they aren't just part of the customer experience. They are the customer experience. They're your company's living, breathing front page. They are the very first and sometimes the very last impression a customer will ever have of you. Okay, so if these people are that important, what on earth happens when you, the leader, are totally disconnected from them? Well, this next part frames it perfectly. It's not just a blunder, it's a self-inflicted wound. So let me ask you, right now, what do you think is a leader's single biggest mistake? A bad strategy, maybe? A poor financial call? I mean, sure, those are huge, but there's another error that could be even more catastrophic. And here it is, the hard truth. Failing to connect with, to understand, and to deliver for your frontline employees is, and I quote, almost as big a mistake as shooting on your feet. It's a painful, disabling, totally self-inflicted wound. And this, right here, is the huge disconnect, isn't it? As leaders, we pour so much time and energy into managing our direct reports, our VPs. That's the challenge we see every day. But the actual ticking time bomb, the mistake that can literally ruin you, is the gap we let grow between us and the people who are on the ground running the business. Okay, so you've done it. You've shot yourself in the foot. Now what? Well, it's not some slow, gentle decline. Oh no, it's a full-on downward spiral. Let's walk down this inevitable path from disconnect straight to disaster. And the way this plays out, it's scarily predictable. First, your grand vision, your instructions, they just get ignored or misinterpreted on the floor. Then, your employees, feeling disconnected, start chasing customers away. Maybe not on purpose, but it happens. Naturally, your revenue just hits rock bottom. And the final awful step? Bankruptcy. This isn't just a theory, it's a chain reaction. All right, I know that sounds pretty dire, but there is a way forward. The thing is, the way forward is probably not what you're thinking. In fact, your first instinct is likely the most common and the most wrong reaction you could have. When everything is on fire, customers are bolting, money's drying up, the temptation is huge, right? Just clean house, fire the entire front line and start over. It feels decisive, like you're taking bold action. But here's the thing, that move, it's just as bad. You're basically just lining up a shot for your other foot. Firing everyone doesn't solve the root cause of the problem. You're just treating the symptom, not the disease. So the real takeaway here is this. The solution isn't about firing people. It's about you getting involved. The power to actually fix this lies with you, the leader. It means shifting from blaming everyone else to taking direct personal action. And here's what that actually looks like. And trust me, it's not rocket science. You need to get the right feedback so you can find a real solution. And how do you do that? You talk directly to your frontline employees. Not through layers of management, not through some anonymous survey. I'm talking about you, the leader, actually listening to them, yourself, with your own ears. This one simple act could save you from financial ruin. Okay, so listening is step one. Huge step. But it's not enough on its own. Now we get to the really practical part. How do you take all that raw, honest feedback and actually turn it into meaningful, business-saving action? So what you hear is probably going to fall into one of three big buckets. First, if the problem is managerial, say a bad middle manager, you solve it. I mean, instantly. No messing around because your own job could be on the line. Second, if it's financial, it's your job to make sure wages are fair for the market and the local cost of living. And finally, if it's a cultural issue, you absolutely must fix it and you must do it by the book to avoid getting buried in legal costs. And there's a really important note here on culture. As the leader, your personal opinions on the matter, honestly, they don't matter. The health of your business and following the law have to come first. You have to solve the issue and then you have to live with it. Period. And please never, ever forget this. Your employees, they live in the community. They talk to their friends, their family, their neighbors. They are either your best brand ambassadors or your worst critics. Every single customer who walks through that door is watching how you treat your people. I mean, think about it. In a very real way, your employees are kind of your first customers. So here we are, right back where we started. You already made one big mistake by ignoring the front line. That was the first shot to the foot. The second mistake would be reacting the wrong way. Now is the time to put the gun down, save that second foot, and save your business. And that leaves us with one last, really urgent question for you. Forget the market trends for a second. Forget your competitors. The biggest, most immediate threat to your business might already be inside your walls. So the question is, do you really know who's chasing customers out your door? And more to the point, what are you going to do about it?